Welcome to Queernecks, the podcast that puts the yeehaw in y'all means all. I'm your host, Beck.
And I am your host, Dash. Welcome to today's episode. You know how, I've been choking on cat fur
Yes.
They're just shedding everywhere? I've got one of those, fancy undercoat brushes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I was attacking them with it last night. Brisket loves it. Oscar likes it. Ziggy's kind of meh, and Felix is terrified of it. There's no brush in Felix.
We got Rue a brush. Rue needs a haircut. We finally got her in. She has an appointment August 11th. She looks like a homeless Bichon Frise right now, if that is a thing. Her little hair is wild looking. She needs a bath, too. So she's just homeless looking.
Yeah, I'm experiencing, remember the Boots theory of socioeconomics? That
yes, you buy
Terry
the $10
Pratchett
ones over and over.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm kind of experiencing that in haircut form because I've lost a very essential guard on my clippers, and I'm like, do I buy a new set of clippers? Do I just pay somebody? Do I find a barber somewhere and pay somebody to cut my hair, or do I shave my head?
What is your decision?
I don't know. I mean, I that was just this morning. The clippers I've got are dollar store clippers.
Oh, so
I never buy the good ones.
You probably buy the steak from the dollar store too, don't you?
No. I do buy some food from the dollar. No, you know what I got from the dollar store is sausage. I got some andouille.
Ew. I won't eat it. I'm very, very, very particular. I won't eat most things out of a dollar store. That's because when I was growing up, Mark, my adopted father, he was a regional manager for Big Lots, Odd Lots. And that was before, dollar stores were a thing or whatever. And so they would just get what they got. And sometimes they'd get food shipments that were disgusting, rotten, like that kind of thing. And I learned he would just come home and say, I got a box full of worms today or whatever. And I just, knowing what he did, I just couldn't do it. I just can't do it to this day.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything fresh there. I buy processed food sometimes. They sell, this one anyway, and my local market here, every single, prepackaged fresh produce is Taylor Farms, which is the one that's
oh wow,
got
the diarrhea factory.
Yeah. I was like, y'all just out here? You wouldn't change this?
They're on sale at Kroger's this week.
Really?
Yeah. I bet you are on sale this week at Kroger.
Yeah. For people who are willing to take the chance.
Yeah, old people or just people that don't watch the news or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and these people out here, they're all Trumpers and they get their news from those people, so they probably don't know, or they may not know.
Right.
Or if they've heard it, they don't believe it.
Right. That could definitely be it.
No, thank you.
There we go.
Have you watched any fun movies lately?
I was watching The Craft right before we got to this conversation.
The original one?
Yeah, I was about 20 minutes from the end. I've been watching a lot of women's professional baseball this week. That's where my attention has been.
I wanted to ask you about that. I wore my baseball shirt in honor of the opener. So, and I don't know, hopefully our listeners got to see it, at least got to see some of the highlights if you don't have the pass to view this. But yeah, tell us about it.
It was fantastic. So I was a little disappointed with the opening day stuff. I don't know what I expected, but I guess I'm used to a league like Major League Baseball that has millions of dollars to spend on pomp and circumstance. And this is a brand new league that doesn't have anything to do with it. Did you catch the national anthem? Google WPBL national anthem. Martha, just put Martha. It'll come up.
Okay. Oh, well, apparently that went south.
Are you listening?
No, I don't think I can bring myself to do that. This is one of my nightmares, having been a singer and done shit like this.
Well, so another video emerged that Shanna showed me today. It's the rehearsal beforehand. They were sitting in the stadium seats, and it was her and the two women that she sang with. And she basically told them that they were out of tune and that she didn't need them and they could go ahead and sit down. Like, she pulled full diva moves on them. and then she went out and sang over them completely. So I mean, I know she was a diva. I don't think she was the proper choice. I think somebody got shoehorned into letting her sing that because who like and the first pitch, my other big complaint was the first pitch at all of any game ever for the Women's Professional Baseball League was from the mayor of the town they're playing in. Like literally none of the bright stars or none of the famous women that have been part of pioneering baseball history for the last 50 years, none of them could have come and thrown out the first pitch. One thing they did do well was Maybelle is a 99-year-old lesbian icon who played in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League back in the 40s. She's one of just a handful that are still alive. They made her, she threw out one of the first pitches, but not the first pitch. And the mascot is her, is Maybelle. And it's so good. I wanted a Maybelle doll.
It is really good. When I saw it, it was so uncanny valley because it really had even those like oversized glasses she wears.
Yep. We're friends on Facebook.
That's pretty. I wonder if she's like on there a lot.
No, she's not. She doesn't have a lot of friends. I don't know how I got through, but I got through. Maybe because of the other people through my research who I've become friends with. I knew several of the people that were involved with the whole production of that this weekend, like Justine Siegel. She wrote several books. I emailed her once. Kelly Elliott Dine. She was the lead umpire for the first couple of games. She's in a Facebook group about women who are umpires in baseball. I thought they were a really interesting group to kind of study, you know. So I've been part of their group for 10 years now. Yeah, there was a lot of history there. The game was fantastic. The first home run got hit in the first one. The first batter that came up to bat in the Women's Professional Baseball League ever was Monet Davis. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
Monet Davis was a baseball player. She became famous when she was, I think, 12 or 13. She played for a boys team and won the Little League World Series, or at least she won it. She had a shutout. She pitched very well. And she ended up going to college, I think, on a basketball scholarship or something. But she was famous for a girl playing baseball. And so when it was big news when she decided to try out for the league. And then she was the first person up to bat, which I think is very perfect.
Okay, cool. So she played in the Little League World Series.
I have a book that's about her too. I include her in when I do at the end of the semester every year, or every semester. One of the last lectures I do, I call my research, and I show how much of what we've talked about this semester applies to my research and how a real world problem, you know. So we talk about some of the more gender specific things, and her being one of the things I bring up that Little League Baseball integrated male and female in 1972. And since then, there have been, I think, 15 girls in the World Series, Little League World Series. And like 10 of those have been from America or something like that. Not very many. Thousands of boys have participated, but there's only been like 15 girls total. So that's wild to me. Which I hope that changes now that we have the Women's Professional Baseball League. Maybe some girls will be, but we'll see. The first night was sold out. The second night was not. The third night was not. And we'll watch the fourth night tonight. I don't know which team I'm going to root for yet, but
I was just about to ask, do you have a team yet?
I think it's the San Francisco Firebells, but I was really impressed with the Queens last night, the Los Angeles Queens. They kicked some ass.
I saw some clips of them. They were the top in some statistics, I guess, some key statistics.
Well, there's only been 3 games so far, so
yeah,
keep that in mind because somebody still has 1,000 batting average on one of the teams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
I have one too.
Yeah. I am really enjoying it though. It's really cool to see girls being treated as professionals. And so the comment sections are the comment sections and they're going to say what they're going to say. And a lot of them are like, oh, I could beat them and this is Little League and stuff like that. But what they're not considering is that boys that make it to Major League Baseball, they start in Little League, then they go through the senior leagues, then they go through high school, then they go through college until they have been conditioned for 20 years to be an athlete, to be a pitcher or whatever, right? Girls have not had that same kind of conditioning, that same kind of opportunity to do this kind of thing. Like, there are generations where my dad was a pitcher and my dad was a pitcher and I'm a pitcher too, you know?
Yeah.
And so pitching, my nephew, he is a pitcher for a college team, or he graduated, but he had special coaches and he played baseball from the time he was like in kindergarten, right? So by the time he was 18 and got to college, he had 13 years of baseball under his belt. And then he had 4 more years if he wanted to like go on to the minor leagues and then the major leagues. He would have even more exposure to the game, right? And girls just don't get that kind of exposure. So why would they have major league like baseball talent? They have not been conditioned to have that yet. We'll get there, just like the WNBA has gotten there. They're very competitive now, you know, and the games are awesome. And professional baseball will get there too, I think. That's my prediction.
Yeah. It'll take a generation. That's a good point. And these is always men who say this kind of shit. They're the same ones who think that like a trans woman would have a natural advantage over a cis woman. They're never ever going to be able to land this plane, but those two things are not compatible because it's assuming that there is some sort of innate skill to just being a man, but also that a cis woman should be able to be as good as a man. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I've been, so my version of women's baseball excitement is the release of Jane Schoenbrun's latest film, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma.
I haven't heard of that.
This is my World Series. So this is the person who they have made 2 films already, both of which are trans allegories. One was We're All Going to the World's Fair. I think this also might have been like their like senior thesis film. It has that vibe. It's good, but it very much feels like a student film.
Right.
But then they made I Saw the TV Glow, which kind of, took America by storm. I never saw it, but I'm reconsidering it because of this latest installment in their oeuvre. It's got Hannah Einbinder, she's in that show Hacks with Gene Smart, and she's very, very funny, and she's like an out queer person, and it's got Gillian Anderson in it, who is a queer icon, right? Like a lot of queer like lesbians and like women who are attracted to women have been obsessed with her for like I have had a crush on her for 33 years. I counted this morning because I was in a comment section of them doing press, and it's adorable press, right? They do those junket things where they make them go into interviews together and maybe play word association games and just trying to create cute little snippets to build buzz for the film. And they have like some charisma. That's not it. Chemistry. And somebody was like, they were in the comments and they're like, isn't Gillian Anderson a Zionist? And I was like, no. And here's why, but here's why you heard that, and they're like, how do you know that? Because she's just, this breaks the spell a little bit, but she's not brilliant. She's likable. She has, she's commendable. She's a great actress. She's a smoke show, but, she's not a professor of intersectional geopolitical, whatever. And so she got taken in by that Stop Jewish Hate campaign to try to convince everybody that being anti-Zionism is the same as anti-Semitism. And she canceled a speaking engagement. That's all she did. And then everybody was like, she's a Zionist. And she wasn't like smart enough to repair the damage. So that's what I said. And they're like, and I had said, like, if you follow her interviews, you can kind of tell that, you can build the context for this. And they were like, she's only just now gotten famous. How do you know anything about, all of her interviews? And I was like, I've been reading her interviews since 1993. I've been cutting them. I was cutting them out of Wizard fucking magazine and hanging them on my walls. Trust me. But that's what made me think about like us doing the old internet thing, like where we get on the Wayback Machine and look at like old internet.
I'm in. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Have you heard of the dead internet theory?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it means. I've heard that phrase, but I don't exactly know what it means. That everything's bots or something?
Yeah. That because we stopped using the internet personally and we set everything up to be an application or a bot or some AI, the internet is just artificial intelligence talking to itself. And I think that's related to media literacy. But anyway, I'm excited for that movie to come out.
We're gonna go see Super Troopers at the new Super Troopers next week at the drive-in.
Did you see the second one?
A long time ago, but we'll probably watch it this week in preparation because we've seen the first one about 1,000,000 times.
I love the first Super Troopers.
Yeah. We've seen it 1,000,000 times, meow.
Meow.
Yeah.
You think I'm jumping around on nimbly bimbly from tree to tree?
Shenanigans.
The next motherfucker that says shenanigans is getting pistol whipped. I quote, who wants a mustache ride? All the
I always say a liter of cola.
a liter of cola is for a cop.
Yeah.
God damn, what a good movie. They have a couple of other movies that I don't know if they're as good. They're clearly funny people, the Broken Lizard crew. But like, what is it? Club Dread is the one where they're on an island. And then Beer Fest, I think, is another one. I want to listen to that video you sent me. If y'all follow us on Facebook, I posted it there. But this is a town hall from, I think, a few days ago. I don't know exactly when it was from. That for Senator Rand Paul. And I don't know who this poor, bewigged woman who is trying to facilitate this thing is. I sent this to Claire and she goes, I would ask if it's real, but AI would not have done her hair like that. That is a plastic wig, y'all. But yeah, so this is a live town hall. And well, let's listen to it and then we'll talk about it.
We'll go ahead to our next question now. Mrs. Alexis Toon, you are live with the Senator. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Senator. I am a proud Kentucky citizen, and I just wanted to tell you to get fucked.
All right, we'll go ahead to our next question.
There's just so many things that are right about that. Hi, Senator. And like, first of all, is "get fucked" the greatest white person swear ever? It's so succinct, and you're just telling them what to do. I don't know. I've always loved that one. But why doesn't this happen more often? This is my question. Like, what is stopping this from being every town hall?
That's a good question.
Do they screen people normally?
They probably just aren't smart enough to get through the screening process, right? She probably was like, what kind of policy do you propose for X, Y, and Z? And then she's like, get fucked. I want to I wish that person would announce their coffee because I'd send them $5, you know?
Yeah, just not all heroes. And the expression on this moderator's face when she realizes what's been said, and she recovers so quickly. I mean, good for her, whatever. This isn't her fault necessarily, unless it is, in which case, there you go. But she just catching stray fire, and he didn't react at all, because he doesn't fucking care about anything. But yeah. Thank you so much for finding.
Happy to oblige.
I would bring back ringtones for this. I might. I might still just do it. TikTok delivered me something funny earlier, because there's one thing I love when TikTok does, which is not steal jokes. I'm not talking about joke stealing, but reviving an old joke format and putting it into the TikTok format. So like there's that one, the most popular style, I think, of video is somebody just holding their phone and narrating to it. And so they're taking older, like stand-up type formulation jokes and making them into almost like a vlog. And so this girl said, my doctor asked me if I smoked or drank coffee. And I said, well, I drink it, but it sounds like you might know a better way to do that. I fucking love that. Like, I've always loved that particular formulation of a joke, because one of my favorite things is to be able to have said something hilarious and the person doesn't realize it for there's like dead air while they put together what's been said.
Right.
But the way she said, like, well, I drank it. I saved it, I think.
My doctor asked, do you smoke or drink coffee? And I said, I drink it. But it sounds like your way might be more efficient. What do you know?
What do you know?
That's funny.
Yeah. She got me. There was also a woman. Oh my God. So you know how a lot of people are making a brand out of basically just cussing about Trump,
Right.
cussing at him as though he can hear them. The person I'm thinking of specifically that did this was Jennifer Welch from the I've Had It podcast. And that's not how they started. They have been a podcast for a long time, and it's a great premise. I love them. It's a couple of, I think at the time they started, they were middle-aged, perhaps postmenopausal white women who were kind of talking about the experience of living in this world as people experiencing that. And so the I've Had It was basically like, this is what I've had it with this week. The thing that was getting on their nerves or making it intolerable. And they would have guests on or take phone calls where people would say, I've had it with this or that. And it was really funny. But then they started transitioning into making fun of Trump. And so Jennifer Welch's reads about Trump are really funny. And I think that this woman, her name's JoJo from Jersey, has done the same. She called him, and they address it to him, like they're cussing him out to his face, which is also pretty funny. And so she goes, "You fucking waterlogged colostomy bag," and that's been a vocal stem. Keep saying it, like move over, cellar door. We have a new perfect phrase. Fucking waterlogged colostomy bag. Like it's just the perfect, like, vowel to consonant ratio, the perfect fricative to stop ratio in consonants. I don't know. I loved it. But I need to get over that one before I have to be around people.
My favorite inanimate object insult is you're quite the doorknob. You're calling somebody, they don't know what to say to that because you're not really insulting them, right? You're just saying you're dumb as a doorknob, and like that's
Yeah.
that's
What
good
about
way
a
to-
doorknob? What about what kind? Is it pretty? Oh. Well, should we do show and tell? The Wheel of What
Yes.
Have You gave us a fun game to play. So first, I wanted to ask, how did you choose? Like, what was your criteria for choosing what to bring?
It's the weirdest thing I own, I think.
Okay. I had trouble deciding. I was also going for that, but then I got in my head about, like, is it weird to me or is it going to be weird to everybody else? And so that gets into, like, what is the other person going to see about this versus what do I see about it?
Right.
Okay. Should we Rochambeau for it?
Do you 1, 2, 3 shoot or 1, 2 shoot?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 shoot.
Okay. Ready?
1, 2, 3 shoot. Oh, you won. Okay.
So I go
Does
first.
that mean you get? Yeah, I was about to say
okay.
we didn't decide
All
what
right.
that means. Okay, so let's see it. What have you got?
Okay, first I'm going to just hold it up and see if you can figure out what it is.
Oh, I can barely see it. It's a plastic bag. Is it clear?
It is. Now let me do something.
Okay. Are you blowing it up?
Okay, that's enough air. We'll stay in there. Okay. Now can you tell what it is?
Is there something inside it? It's an inflated clear plastic thing.
It's a vagina. It is an inflatable vagina. And I have this for condom demonstration purposes. I have a bag full of these.
You have multiple inflatable vaginas.
Yeah, I contacted the company and I was like, I want to do this as a student thing. And they sent me all kinds of shit. But basically, it's got the hole here and there's a little tube and there's like a little flap down here. So when you push it in, you can push it towards the cervix or whatever. Yeah, that's what it's for. But yes, it's an
That
inflatable
is
vagina.
incredible. I wish I could see it more clearly. You'll have to get some photos and video of it for the newsletter and for social media, if you don't mind.
Yeah. If you gotta look at this, I think I might have showed this to you already, but this is full. Look at it compared to my head. It is full of condoms.
Do they have rainbows on them?
Some of them do, yes. I have
gay
a pin
agenda.
on mine. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Is it? It's slightly out of frame. Oh, who is that? Is that Marsha? Hell yeah. It's a sort of cartoon drawing of Marsha P. Johnson.
It's a pin that you put on your lapel pin or whatever. One of my friends from the PhD program bought them and decided she didn't want them. So she emailed me one day and she's like, hey, do you want these? And I was like, hell yeah. So she sent them and they were really cool.
Well, it's a great use for expired condoms too, to do demonstrations.
Yeah.
So, because I used to have that problem at like a resource center that I worked at. Certain things would get used more than others, but I couldn't stop the distributors from sending me like the same amount of things. And so I was swimming in condoms. And I'm like, what do I do with these? They're about to expire. And so there was a program of kids, well, of grad students and some undergrads that they supervised who would give, safer sex presentations on campus. And they took them for giving demonstrations. So I was like, hell yeah. That is incredible. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. And like I said, they sent me, and it's a perfect little square when you first get it. And it looks like one of those arm floaties that you put on a toddler in the pool. It is not. It is far from that. Toddlers do come from these, but
you could get a toddler out of it, but you shouldn't put one in. That was a good one. Man, now I want one. When I come through, I would like one of those, please.
okay, no problem.
That's a good one. Okay, so I'm glad that mine is that I did go with something pretty weird. And I have, quite a few weird things, but some of it's just nostalgic stuff. And as I was going through things, I found a lot of stuff where I was like, this is great. I forgot about this, for instance, I have an old iPod Nano. Why do I still have that?
Right.
Marie Kondo would have thrown that shit out 10 years ago.
You could probably get good money for it on eBay.
I shudder to think what's on it.
People are looking for technology that is not connected to the internet. They want physical stuff like that.
Yeah.
You used to be able to download songs and just have that before the way that it works now.
Yeah.
Apple Music or whatever.
I wonder, so I think I might find the compatibility is a bit of an issue with it. I don't know where you would even get a cable, or maybe you can get an adapter for it. But yeah, I want to dig around in there because I had some weird music on there, stuff that I couldn't guess how to track down again. Because that used to be a currency. We used to, we would download songs off of LimeWire or Napster or whatever, burn them onto CDs, and then if you had iTunes, you could then import everything from the CD into iTunes and give it to another person. So, there was a roaring trade of these things. And that also, David got me that Nano. He went on this apology tour after he got sober, where he started trying to make things up to us all. So he got me and Vanessa good, really nice presents and thoughtful presents. Mom and Dad too. It was sweet. And so I still have a couple of the things that he got me, but that's not super interesting. So I was like, all right, I was the same as you. I was like, what's one of the weirdest things I have? And I chose this also because it is really weird and really niche, but a lot of our listeners will know what this is. Broke it. It used to have feet on it.
It looks like a chocolate egg to me with tiki bug
Kinda
eyes.
does. It has tiki vibes. Yep.
What is it?
It's called a Horgon.
Does that make the horrors be gone?
No. It actually makes them appear. So this is an item. It's an artifact from a planet in Star Trek called Risa. The ship goes for shore leave, so the crew can disembark and have some personal time. And if you set this next to you while you're out at the pool or the dinner or at the bar or something, it means that you are open to sex. So this is how you sick potential mates.
That's one way to do it.
Whoever named it Horgon was not. They just were tired that day. They were over it. Coming up with stuff on names of things on Star Trek would have to be crazy, though. But This is actually, this was never sold as merch. This is actually from a merch store of a podcast about Star Trek that thought this was hilarious. So their podcast is making fun of Star Trek. It's the one I told you about. It's called The Greatest Generation. And they're always finding ridiculous things about the show. And this was one of them. And they decided to 3D print one, I think is what this is. It looks like it is. And I think that's why the bottom broke off of it. Sell it as merch. And Vanessa got me this, which is maybe the weirdest part of this story.
That's awesome.
Because it just showed up in the mail one day. And I was like, a Horgon. I'm hiding it. My neighbors are going to know what a Horgon is for. Come running
Hopefully
over.
it doesn't have a upside down pineapple on it or anything.
Well, it is hollow now. It used to have a flared base. That's a joke from that podcast, actually. If something has a flared base, then it's in danger of going up your ass. But that's from Dan Savage. Are you familiar with him?
Mm-mm.
he has a sex talk podcast, and he's fine actually. It's a good resource for like sexual wellness education and stuff. And he's always talking about like if you're gonna do butt stuff with something, it has to have a flared base, otherwise it can disappear up there.
That's funny. When I do my sex ed talk, I talk about butt stuff because this generation is going to be like, they're the most ass-eatingest generation that there ever has been. And if you're going to do butt stuff, one of the things I do in my condom demonstration is I cut the tip off of one and then cut it up the side and show them how to make a dental dam. And I say, because if you're going to do the butt stuff, you should have some protection, you know?
Yeah. Right. It's not a safer option just because there's no ejaculate involved or something. I think them sort of gleaning their own information and passing it around, it's great. And I understand why they have to do it, but they get it wrong so often. I remember there was a double bag it myth going on at, I don't know if it was more widespread, but at my university, kids were like, yeah, put on 2 condoms, like one on top of the other. And that's somehow safer because if one breaks, the other one won't. And it's like, have we heard of Miss Friction? Because she's a big part of the act you're about to do with that thing. No. And then using, was it oil-based lube? It melts the condom.
Yeah. Silicone based. If you use anything that's silicone based, it can melt your toys too. If you ever need a sexual wellness presentation from the Queernecks, we're happy to oblige. Oh yeah, we talk about all the things. I like sex ed day because it's the only day you get to play with lube in class and nobody cares. You know, it's fun.
It's fun to be the person who can give that to them. Yeah. You know, it's like I always feel so good that they're getting it at all. You know.
Yeah.
And from somebody who's a professional. And you get to do ridiculous things and play ridiculous stuff and demystify.
Yeah. I also put a condom over my hand down to my wrist and say, don't let them lie to you.
Yes. I love that one too. Magnum condoms don't need to exist. They are pure marketing. Like, well, depending on what you're doing, they don't need to exist for the size of a person's biological member.
Right.
Lots of people put condoms over whatever toys or inanimate objects they're using, and those can be any size, but
you're brave enough.
Right. And what is it? There's a joke.
If you're brave enough, anything can be a butt plug.
Can it be a dildo? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Lord God, what's the episode going to be titled?
Oh, Lord, I don't know. Heathens on Parade.
I want to fix this and get a bass back on it, though, so I can sit it out places and see if anybody... This is a stupid thing to sell, you know? Because, like... which I guess is why they did it. Because if you put it out, somebody might know what it is, and that's weird, and potentially an HR violation. And if they ask you what it is, you have to lie, or it's an HR violation. I guess you're not supposed to put it at work. It's supposed to be at home when you're friends, which I have many of. They come to my house all the time.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea how long we've been talking, but in case it's a long time, maybe we should hear from this week's sponsor. All right. Oh, glasses. I found them. I found my glasses.
Where
I
were
lost
they?
them because I cleaned. They were under a new pile of things I organized. All right. This episode of Queernecks is sponsored by non-franchise dairy stand. Summer is getting long in the tooth, whatever the hell that means. So you might be getting that itch to squeeze as much in as you can. Each morning your head swims with the novelties that belong only to this sweltery season. It's not that you can't find a way to go swimming in the winter, just like summer doesn't have a monopoly on swamp ass and underboob sweat. It's just that you'd never choose it if there was a better way. One such novelty is the non-franchise dairy stand. They will often scrounge you up a burger glistening with grease, a poke of french fries, or a shifty-looking chili dog, but make no mistake, we all came here for the borderline NSFW things they can do with dairy. It differs from the Cold Stones and Dairy Queen franchises of the world in several ways. It'll be called something like Dairy Bar, Dairy Queen with a K, Dairy Princess, the gamut of dairy monarchy, or their estranged y'alternative relations like Frosty Holler, Heifer Please, or the Witch's Tit. Whatever the name of your purveyor of brain freeze these past 3 months, the true non-franchise dairy stand is characterized by a handful of non-negotiable factors that combine to make it into the ephemeral bright spot in the world that it is. One is that you absolutely cannot step foot inside. Not just like there's no indoor seating. There's no identifiable door. We don't even know how the employees got in. Maybe they spawned in there in April and they returned to a deserved heavenly rest in September. Another difference is that the business and marketing decisions are entirely at the whim of the local maniac whose family the stand has been in for generations. If they're bowlers, the stand closes early on league nights. If they are anti-establishment, they only accept cash or trade. If there's been a feud, there'll be some mirror universe copy of it across town that you need to wear a disguise to patronize if you want to keep your dilly bar supply. Most importantly, though, these places don't belong to corporate America, they belong to the town. Every family has their order memorized, every teenager has worked there, dated someone who worked there, or been dumped in the parking lot after splitting a funnel cake sundae. Little league teams celebrate there, motorcycles idle, church crowds descend after Sunday service like a plague of politely dressed locusts. The whole cross-section of the town meets here in the middle to renew their membership to summer. And then just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanishes. One day you'll drive by and the windows are boarded up, the picnic tables are stacked, and the giant fiberglass cone has disappeared into whatever off-season dimension these places inhabit. And you think, damn, I meant to get one more peanut butter sundae. But there's always next year, assuming the owner's cousin doesn't decide to turn it into a vape shop.
We've got one up here called Dr. G's Mart, or not Dr. G, it's Mr. G. Dr. G is the drug mart that had the U out. This is Mr. G's Ice Cream Mart, and they have year-round apple dumplings.
That would be diabolical.
Yeah, I got one not last time we were there, but the time before that. It's it's behind Airport Highway. I don't know if you remember where Airport Highway is up here.
No, I don't think so.
And then there's a couple of those. We like the ones with the drive-throughs because I don't like walking up to it. But in Portsmouth, there's one called the Dairy Cream. Yeah. My first job was at a dairy bar, which is that kind of, it was a restaurant and a dairy bar. They had two little windows you walked up to, and you could order ice cream or sundaes or banana splits or milkshakes or malts or what have you. That's how I learned how to make an ice cream cone. McHumston's Dairy Bar.
In Corbin, it was called the root beer stand. I don't know, maybe they made root beer or something like that, but they were known kind of for their food too, their chili dogs and stuff, but you could also get like root beer floats and stuff there. It closed down for a little while, I swear, but it appears to be back open now. So that's cool. If you're in Corbin and you hit up the root beer stand recently, let us know.
The one in Portsmouth stays open year-round.
I guess some of them are like they could do that if the weather's nice. The one in Carbondale, it opened in April and closed in September, and which is crazy because it's like that's very not student oriented. You know, it was like they could get some in before they left for the year, but that was really about the town. It was right on Main Street, and you could sit on the sidewalk and eat, whatever you got, or people would just kind of stand around in the parking lot or walk down to a bar or something. I have some ice cream related financial advice to give.
Which is?
I made a smart investment decision last night. I had to go down to the town that the Dollar General is in. The Dollar General. Have you seen those TikToks of the woman who says she works at? Right. I wanted a Heath bar. That's like this candy that me and my dad kind of bonded over. He likes them.
Coffee with chocolate, right?
Yeah. And so I had a craving for one, and I went into the gas station there, and it was damn near $4.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, God almighty. It was like $3.20 something, but with tax. And so I was like, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. But then I turned around and there's the Dairy Queen across the street, and they have a Heath Blizzard for like $5.
Oh, wow.
So I went over to the Dairy Queen. I sat in their drive-thru for 25 minutes, and I got me a Heath Blizzard, and I hadn't had that shit it has been literally years.
Yeah.
And I forgot how good they were. I ate that thing. It's a 20-minute drive home, maybe like 18 minutes. That thing was gone before I was halfway home. I was close to getting brain freeze for the first time in like 20-something years.
Yeah. My favorite right now, I don't know if you've ever heard of Witt's Custard. They're a little chain. They're all over the place. There's one in Piketon down home or Waverly. I don't know. Anyway, they sell frozen custard instead of frozen ice cream. And one of their specialties was called the Tiger Paw. And basically it's hot fudge and hot raspberry sauce with macadamia nuts. It is heavenly.
Dude, I just Googled it. These images are a war crime. These need to be censored. Blur that shit out.
It's beautiful. It's one of the best reasons to go home is you get to stop at Witt's.
It looks like there's a good spread of them out. They're down into Tennessee. Never heard of them. Now I'm gonna look for it whenever I get back home.
Nice. They're good. It's better than ice cream, IMO.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know the difference between custard and ice cream.
Right. I think custard has more egg.
I don't think ice cream has egg in it at all. So yeah.
But I could be wrong about that.
Versus custard must contain at least 1.4% pasteurized egg yolk alongside milk, cream, and sugar. Okay. So that's why it's got that texture. And then ice cream is just milk, I guess. It also has a requirement of some sort. It has to be like a certain amount of dairy fat. Custard melts slower than ice cream. Cool.
It's much smoother than ice cream, too.
Yeah. I remember it in Richmond in the 2010s. They got a Culver's there. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I'd had frozen custard. And it really was a very important discovery for me. Also, their burgers are incredible.
Culver's right now has a lemon cooler you can get strawberry in. Oh my God, my diabetes cries every time I pass that place, but jeez, is it good. It is so good. I make Shanna get them so I can have a drink.
Do you do that thing where you switch, like in the summer you have your cold treats and in the winter you do warm ones, or are you like steady year round?
Shanna's an ice cream eater all year round. Sorry, I have the hiccups. But I generally like warm things unless it's summer. If it's summer, I want ice cream. Oh, this is miserable.
Can you get rid of hiccups by holding your breath? Have you ever been able to do that?
Usually if I take a couple of sips, it will go away.
I used to get hiccups all the time when I drank like alcohol. And it's like a really disempowered feeling. You're like, I'm not in control of my body.
I'm just trying to say a sentence and it won't let me.
Maybe you're hungry.
Yeah, we had Taco Bell earlier, but I am hungry. I have to go to Kroger and get our groceries so I can make spaghetti for tonight.
Ooh, spaghetti sounds good. It's been kind of chilly here, and it's, I think, done things to my mood because it feels like fall.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm like, no, even though fall really is around the corner. I was thinking about the wheel of what have you. And, we can add more things to it. If anybody has suggestions, comment on wherever you listen, the Spotify or the YouTube, or send us an email at mailbag@queernecks.com. What idiotic thing would you like us to do? But should we put in some blanks so that there's some days where it's just, a regular us talking about shit? Or should we keep every day where it's structured with something?
I like having the extra side quest every week. Gives it something to make them special.
Yeah. I'm cool with that too. I just wanted to make sure we weren't overdoing it. And the idea that our show could be overproduced is hysterical. We literally we do I do a half hour of writing and some thinking. And that's all the prep we do. Not to spill the beans. Well, in that case, then I guess we better spin the wheel of what happened. Oh, you want to give us a noun of Appalachian interest?
I do. This is a group this week. This week's noun of Appalachian interest is the Melungeon people. The Melungeons were mixed ancestry families who lived mostly in eastern Tennessee and Kentucky, and then southwestern Virginia, especially around Newman's Ridge in the Vardee Valley. They are generally a mix of African American, Native American, and white people. For years, people tried to explain where they came from. Theories included Portuguese sailors, Turkish settlers, lost colonists, shipwreck survivors, and pretty much anybody who may have passed through North America carrying a suitcase and an interesting accent. The historical records tell a less dramatic but far more useful story. Many Melungeon families descended from the free people of African and European ancestry who lived in Virginia and North Carolina before the American Revolution. Some families also had Native American ancestry. They later moved deeper into Appalachia, where they formed communities and raised generations of families. This is actually the story of Beck's paternal family's line move into Kentucky. The word Melungeon was originally used as an insult. During the 1800s, these families lived in a society that demanded everyone fit into strict racial categories. Government officials often labeled them free people of color, which could affect their voting rights, their education, their property, and even their marriages. Because of that, some families said they were Portuguese or Native American, Black Dutch, or Black Irish. Sometimes that was the family tradition. Sometimes it was protection. In those days, the answer you gave about your ancestry could change your entire life. Today, some descendants proudly identify as Melungeon. The name that once pushed people aside has become a way to reclaim family history. And no, finding one unexpected result on a DNA test does not automatically make you Melungeon. That's genealogy, not Appalachian Pokemon. You cannot collect one of the mysterious ancestor and unlock a new identity. The story of the Melungeon people is not really about a lost race hidden in the mountains. It's about a mixed family surviving a society that refused to let them define themselves. And that is your noun of Appalachian interest for this week, the Melungeon people.
Yeah, what a politicized identity. Like, people will scapegoat that identity a lot, or that sometimes I think that's the new, like, my grandmother was a Cherokee princess.
Right.
And why would you want to have, I don't know. That's a whole nother tangent. Like, people wanting to be minoritized, like, that's something that always kind of, if you knew what that experience was like, you wouldn't romanticize it or whatever it is you're doing. I don't know what leads a person to do that. Do you remember, this is off topic and it's not to do with Melungeons. Do you remember Rachel Dolezal?
Oh yeah, she was transracial.
Yeah. Well, what is that? That's weird.
I agree, but when you kind of break it down, it's, if culture is not a biological thing, if it's a set of traditions and languages, then why couldn't she be transracial? Why can't you decide to change your traditions and your upbringing and your identity in that way? You know, a person, if they really wanted to study and take on the tradition seriously and do that kind of stuff.
That is different than what she did, though. She, like,
yeah,
blackfaced herself.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Literally pretended to be black.
You shouldn't lie about who you are in any regard, I think.
I think what she did was not quite respectful to their experience. That was like LARPing, you know, that was very like my culture is not your costume type of thing. Like, we would problematize, if that happened on film, we would problematize it. I don't know the answer to the question about transraciality as an identity, but I do know that she was fucked up. What she did was fucked up.
I'll give you that one. But I think the idea of it is something that we should explore further.
Well, let's do that. So I'll get into my books and report back.
Oh, we were going to spin the wheel. What have you? There it is. All right. Let's see what we get. It's again landing on the thing we just did. Okay. Then we got a new one. We landed on joke thief. So, telling jokes, retelling jokes, or however we want to do that. Maybe I'll find some more social media jokes. Maybe I'll try to think of some of my dad's jokes. I made him laugh really hard on the phone last week, so I'm feeling good about that.
When I was in high school, I got the senior superlative that I was the wittiest person in my class. And my dad always said that I should have been the shittiest. He said it was a typo. That's the kind of humor my dad had.
That's a good one. I did get one. It was something to do with going pro in music or something, which did not happen.
The kid that got the male wittiest, because we had a male and a female, he has cerebral palsy. He passed away a couple of years ago, but he was like 1/3 the size of me. He was a tiny little guy, and I was not a huge person in high school, you know? So for the picture, we had him sitting on my shoulders because it was hilarious. P.D. Williams, I'll never forget him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you still have any of your yearbooks, your high school yearbooks?
I have all of them.
I think I only ever had one. I only got my senior year one because they cost money.
Well, lots of libraries have now put them online. So, like, go to the local library of the town that you were in, and they might have your old yearbooks online. They do in Portsmouth. They have them back to, like, the 30s online in Portsmouth. I was able to see my junior high yearbook on the Portsmouth Public Library website recently. Like, it was crazy.
That's a good idea. I see it pretty regularly, like when I'm trying to do something. Maybe I'll dig it up.
Mine are in a box in the bedroom.
We can save it for show and tell, but I don't want to do that. I just want to look at it.
Maybe we'll unpack the next time that we move to another house.
Yeah. Man, I have to go do real world adult things now.
I was supposed to get up and go get my blood work done this morning, but I didn't again. So, and then I have to go get my toilet seat from the mailbox. Amazon likes to send things postal service, and where I live in a big community, they won't deliver anything besides just regular mail from the UPS.
They just throw things at my front door.
Yeah.
I'll come home and shit'll be in the yard.
Well, there's like 600 apartments in my complex. I can see why they don't.
Zicky.
They're restriping the parking lot today. They're always doing some kind of upkeep around here.
Well, a live wire fell off of my house, and I'm leaving town. If I come home and this thing is burnt down, they're gonna think I did it on purpose. But it's just because the people who had this before did some illegal stuff, and it broke yesterday, and I don't know how to fix it. If the house is still here when we come back,
Where all are you going?
I'm gonna go to. I can send you a screenshot of the route I have planned out. I'm gonna go over Lake Michigan, like between it and Lake Superior, into the top of like the UP.
Oh, that's one of my favorite places in the world.
Yeah, and I kind of want to look for a spot to camp up there, and if I can, stay for a few days. Y'all should come up. But then I'm gonna go down through, probably through Toledo, into Kentucky.
It's like a 10-hour drive from Toledo.
To the UP.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's far. The route I had, I was like, this is a long ass trip, all the places I want to go. So I'm going to have to choose.
Well, let me know when you're coming through, and I'll make sure the apartment's clean. You can stop by.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Why, Ziggy? Well, let's get off here and be big kids.
All right. I have to. I got to go to Kroger, so.
I have to clean some more. Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out for another week. And hope you have a good week. I don't remember the questions I asked you all, but you know where to find us if you would like to answer any of them. Do you know what a Horgon is? Have you ever seen an inflatable vagina? Let us know. Say hi to your mom and them.
Bye.